Allison Gymnasium here on the campus of East Peoria Community High School. Tonight's game pits the visiting Washington Panthers, the co-leaders of the Mid-Atlantic Conference, against our host East Peoria Raiders.
Yeah,
as part of our package tonight, we've produced a nice little interview with East Peoria head coach Matt Wright, a little bit behind-the-scenes look at practice, and we'll show you that video right now.
And we'll just kind of go from there. Here's the plan for today.
The East Peoria Raiders played their last game in Allison Gym against Washington. We wanted to go behind the scenes to see just how they prepare for this important game.
At this point in the season, it's really about maintaining kind of bodies, making sure we're not getting through injuries and things like that.
The team sets up a simulation of a play they may see on Saturday, making sure every member knows their place on the court. One thing was very clear. It takes running the sequence over
Do it again.
and over
Do it again.
and over again.
Okay, set it up again.
To get that perfection Coach Wright and the rest of the staff are looking for.
When I looked back to the previous couple years, like, we fought hard. There were a lot of games, we came through with more wins than we had the previous years, but some of the games, just the scores got a little bit overwhelming. Those early experiences resulted in us carrying through and getting a few victories here late.
Victories that, in part, wouldn't have been possible without the three seniors being honored at tonight's game.
Those guys have meant a lot to what we're trying to accomplish. Bringing the right attitude day in and day out to practice, making sure that everybody's trying to get better all the time.
You guys are taking the first passes away, is your goal.
And when asked if they will be missed on the roster next year,
yeah, it's fun to see their evolution because if you're looking at those guys as freshmen, I don't know that those three were going to be the senior captains that they are today.
On top of all of that, Coach Wright says he's proud of their commitment to making the team the best it can be.
Their goal has been to get better every single season in the win column, and for 4 years, those guys have done that.
Back to tonight, this isn't the Raiders' first encounter with the Panthers.
We actually played really well with them in the first game, had a 4-point lead through the third quarter. So what we witnessed from that first game is we've got to make sure we manage the rebounding margin a little bit better.
But add in three seniors who are going to be hungry for a senior night victory, and you get a team that is
going to be very intense defensively. We know it's going to be a very physical basketball game.
We'll find out tonight if these preparations were enough for a victory on the home court at tip-off time.
We'll just kind of go from there.
And we welcome you back to Allison Gymnasium here live. We thank
their
Matt
last
Wright for
game
taking
in
the time to
Allison
sit
Gym.
down with us this week and answer some questions and give us a meaningful look inside the program here. Matt obviously doing a very nice job with the program this year, up to 8 wins so far, I believe, 8-17 on the year. But pretty big test here on senior night, Matt.
Yeah, it's a rough draw for senior night for the Raiders for sure. Panthers in town, perennial, solid, fundamental, well-coached basketball team in here tonight. And, we've seen a lot of scrappiness out of this team. That's one of the challenges I think you have as a head coach is how do you keep fighting and fighting and fighting when that record is just not always where you want it to be. They've shown a lot of tenacity the last couple of weeks. So this has a chance to be a really interesting ballgame.
This is kind of one of those feast or famine games.
Right.
It's either going to be a big upset or it's going to be a long night. But knowing the boys and knowing the fight they've shown this year, I wouldn't be surprised to see this be a game that goes right down to the wire either. So should be an interesting night. Of course, 2 of the premier scorers in the league in Ian Milstead and Lou Griffith. So that alone promises to be worth the price of admission tonight.
It does, and we've really seen the Raiders really kind of transition to a more balanced offensive attack. Obviously, Ian Milstead's still the go-to guy, but that ability suddenly to be able to push the ball inside a little more should make this much more interesting than, say, even in halfway through the season.
And we'll pause now for the national anthem.
Coaches and referees. Tonight's officials are John Miller, Adam Holloman, and Dan McGann. Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask that you rise and face the flag as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem, which will be performed by the EPCHS band.
there we go, a dynamite job by Adam Schneblin and the East Peoria Pep Band here as we'll roll through the school song.
It's a good little crowd in hand tonight for the ball game. Not a huge crowd for Washington, which is a little bit surprising with the rivalry and the proximity of Washington right down the road, but a huge crowd on hand for senior night here for the Raiders.
Well, you know, I think a lot of the Washington folks are down at the state finals for wrestling. So,
yeah,
unfortunately,
six. Yes,
six in the finals, I believe. So,
not too shabby.
A pretty outstanding night for the Washington wrestling team, and of course, we're thrilled for them.
Fans, welcome to tonight's contest between the Washington Panthers and your East Peoria Raiders. First, we will announce the East Peoria 4th grade travel team.
Starting lineups getting ready here for the crowd tonight.
Number 6, Kurt Sosnowski. Number 44, Nicholas Slesser. Number 23, Andy Rosecrans. Number 11, A.J. Reinders. Number 7, Kenny Husen. Number 1, Ethan Krutke. Number 15, Luke Pereno. Number 22, Mason Brown. And number 50, Jordan Diaz. Now for the starting lineups. First for the visiting Washington Panthers. Number 3, Louis Griffith. Number 4, Teray Persman. Number 10, Devin Whitlow. Number 25, Max Everhart. And number 50, J.J. Goudet.
So there you hear the starting lineups for the Panthers.
The Washington
Grisman,
Panthers are coached
Hirschman,
by Kevin Brown.
Whitelow, Everhart, and number 50, Goudet.
Now, Raider fans, get on your feet for your East Peoria Raiders. At guard, a 6-foot senior, number 10, Ian Milstead. At guard, a 5'8" senior, number
Seniors
14,
clearly with the nod tonight in the starting
Perkins.
lineups.
At forward, a 6'4" junior, number 15, Brock Crippen. At guard, a 5'9" senior, number 32, Colin Deary. And the man in the middle, at center, 6'7" junior, number 40, Jacob Teagarden. The Raiders are coached by Matt Wright.
So there are your starters for tonight's game. Obviously, Matt Wright favoring to start the seniors. Not that it would have been all that much different. Maybe would have seen Colin Deering a little later in the ball game, but he would have definitely been in there no matter what. I think the thing that strikes me, Matt, about the Washington lineup is it's a little young. You've got J.J. Goudet in there, a 6'6" freshman, along with oh darn it, I saw another one and lost him. But overall, you see a couple freshmen on this roster, 3 freshmen on this roster, several sophomores. So Kevin Brown not afraid to play the youngsters if they're talented.
It's quite the mix. They got a couple of freshmen, sophomore, and then a couple of seniors. So.
Yeah. So here we go. Dan McGann going to tip it up to Jake Teagard and J.J. Goudet. And we are underway here at Allison Gymnasium. Griffith tracks it down for Washington. Griffith, of course, earned tournament MVP honors at the Pekin Holiday Tournament after putting up 47 points in a semifinal game against Springfield High, or Landfair, I can't remember which. Panthers patient. There's Whitelow, also a very good guard. Whitelow probes the zone, nothing there. East Peoria coming out in their 2-3, Matt being very patient.
This is what we've seen where you got to be patient now. If you're Washington, wait for that opening, and there it is.
And that's where you got to be careful with Washington. They're gonna look for that opening and exploit it.
Boy, pressure already defensively by Washington in that backcourt.
East Peoria breaks pressure. Crippen with the ball on the wing.
Ooh.
East Peoria running a 1-4 high here, kind of a high version of flex. Milstead with the kick out. And we've got our first turnover of the ball game for the Raiders.
Lineup-wise, it'll be interesting. Tradition always says you start the seniors. How long do you stick with the seniors will be
I think these seniors
tonight.
probably would have been in there no matter what. So,
absolutely tonight.
So I don't know that It's kind of a unique situation in that regard.
Raiders.
But Everhart going to put it up in the wing. He rattles it home. And just like that, it's 5-0 Washington. Panthers stay with their 1-3-1 full court press, or actually looks more like a 1-2-1-1. Everhart just floated up there a little bit. Raiders once again break the pressure. That turnover came in the half court, Matt, so that's kind of disappointing to see all that work pay off, breaking the press, and then get digged
Then
for
come
it.
down and, almost under your own hoop, throw it away. Well, just a perfect start for Washington, 2 for 2 from the field goal range, 3-point ball, 2-point shot. Raiders need a bucket here.
That
Don't
foul
wanna
was on
dig a
number
hole.
10, Devin Whitelow, his team first, the first half. Crippen with it, kicks it down to Teagarden. Teagarden into the post, spins around Whitelow, puts up the baby hook, no dice. And Tyree Hurstman off the
very
races
open.
as the Panthers transition from one end to the other. Whitelow gets his 4th point of the game there on a jumper, and Matt Rye wants a timeout to talk it over.
Yeah, that's a tough start. Dig yourself a 7-point hole just that quickly. The reality is when you have these teams like Washington who are streaky teams offensively and can put up 15 points in a matter of just a few seconds, the flip side is defensively, if you can make some stops, those percentages you would assume aren't going to continue. You just can't make everything that you shoot tonight. So patience is the key again for the Raiders tonight. Uncharacteristic if you break down so defensively.
Absolutely. And, you have to be a little bit more careful. I think that's a great timeout by Matt there to try and stem that tide. Hey, let's go out. Got to get a bucket here and get a stop. And just let them know it's, this game is by no means in danger of getting out of hand. Now, it could, as we've seen in the past, but you got to, with 3 seniors on the floor, I don't think that's going to be possible. Once again, a great job by the Raiders of breaking the press. So no real issues with the full court defense so far by the Raiders.
No, very fundamental, hard to dribble through the press, and the Raiders making it look easy so far.
Daring with
Still a
left-handed
good
runner
drive.
just
Good
off. Drop Crippen with the board. He's
Nicely
going to put it
done.
up and good. That's one area you got to watch the Panthers in. They'll transition from offense to defense awfully quick. Raiders settle in. Whitelow with the ball out front. He'll reset the offense for Washington.
Very efficient offensively. Not a lot of wasted movement. Very quick with the release of the pass. Quick with the release of the shot.
And that's been a hallmark of Kevin Brown teams, even when he was at Bloomington Central Catholic. Almost a walk there by Whitelow. Almost lost the pivot foot. Nice pick by Ian Milstead there. Whitelow going to scoop it up, pull up from the elbow.
That's that quick shot.
And there it is. 6 points already for junior Devin Whitelow.
Nice pass. Milstead takes it.
Lou Griffith to the board off the Ian Milstead miss.
We're getting some good looks. We're getting some shots in
They're
the
going to
paint.
get Griffith for the charge and count the basket, I believe. No, they are not. So Griffith's first. Riley close into the game now for Colin Deering, by the way.
Boy, he thought about that. Oh. Reach in on Ian, I think.
They're going to call a travel there.
Or travel, one of those two.
I think, I don't know, he ran over to report something, but he also called a travel, so I don't know if we had dueling whistles there or what. But East Peoria ball nonetheless. Perkins will inbound over to Crippen. Nice job by the Raiders to once again break that press with passing. As you said, can't dribble through a press. Close, looking to get the ball under the Teagarden on the wing.
A lot of contact in there on Teagarden.
Nice pass by Teagarden to Milstead. You just don't see post passing like that much. There's another
Errant
turnover.
pass. Nicely done. Ooh,
Oh,
a great
boy.
defensive stop.
David Perkins
Griffith.
with a nice pass to Riley Close. Riley just got caught from behind there by Lou Griffith. Raiders will trigger it in from their own basket, or underneath their own basket. Close with a dump down to Teagard. Teagard with another nice pass to Riley Close. Just like that, the Raiders have cut it to 9-6, Matt.
Nice little flurry offensively. That's that patience, sticking to what's worked the last 4 or 5 ball games. Another turnover here. Be an offensive foul, I think.
We're going to get Riley Close for a hand check there as he tried to stop a cutter coming across the top there. Kevin Brown wants a timeout to talk about this little 6-0 run by the Raiders.
He is not in his happy place right now.
You know, I have known Kevin a long time, and I learned long ago there are times when Coach is perfectly jovial and glad to talk to you, and there are times where he is an angry, angry man, and you just walk away.
Score table needing some clarification, so we'll have an extended timeout here. But the Raiders needing that. They need that little flurry that they just showed us, that dangerous 7-0 run to start the ball game, and they've countered it nicely here.
And this is what we thought we'd see, Matt. You know, a scrappy, senior-dominated team here at East Peoria with some good senior leadership, not buckling, not giving in. Panthers triggered in. Everhart from the wing. He's got one already, and there's his second one. So 2 players doing all the scoring right now for Washington. Max Everhart and Devin Whitelow with 6 each, as it's 12-6 now. Another nice pass. Crippen. He's got 4 now, as it's now 12-8.
Raiders showing themselves a lot of efficient offensive sets here the last few trips down the court.
We are having some scoreboard issues here, folks, both in the gym and there on your screen. There we go, 12-8 now.
Raiders continue to collapse back inside. This is what we've seen the last half of the season. Make it hard to dribble and penetrate. Force it outside.
Nice defense there by Ian Milstead. And if you're Matt Wright, you're encouraged so far. The leading scorer, Lou Griffith, has been held in check. No points. Now, as usual, when we've said that, he's gonna spring for 8 right here. That's it had to be said, darn it. I stand by my decision. Here is one of those precocious freshmen, Peyton Havens, at the point there. He's on the wing right now with the ball. Griffith in the corner. Moving Lou off the ball, trying to get him some shots.
Threw it away. That's over now.
And there is a 3rd turnover this quarter for Washington. Very uncharacteristic of a Kevin Brown team not to take care of the ball like that. Raiders looking to cut it to 1 possession game here. Nice job by Riley Close to use the back screen there to get open.
Boy, that was a great pick by Teagard.
Boy, there is just some bodies flying everywhere on that possession, whether it was the pick.
There's been a ton of contact in the paint tonight.
Yeah, so much contact there.
Here's our replay.
Picking all that up on TV.
Replay. Outstanding.
We thank our booth there for the outstanding replay. Back to live action here. Braden Weber from the wing rattles it home. 12-11 as the Raiders keep their run going. Nice job by the junior forward there to get that down with a hand in his face. And there's Lou Griffith. And just as I said, as soon as we say something, it's bound to happen. 15-11 now Washington in a very high-scoring first quarter.
Riley Close has done a really nice job last few games coming on with his dribbling skills and just running that point. Great shot inside.
You know, Riley is really a pure point guard. He's very much pass first, not looking to score. Really impressive.
Certainly relevant in this game today when you can't run an offense without a guard. So that's a
nice job by Jake Teagarden there to block the layup attempt, and here come the Raiders back to the other end.
Champagne keeps popping into my mind when I say things like that.
Teagarden off, Everhart with a board. He's up ahead to Havens.
Big opportunity. Raiders had a chance to tie that up. Now 3 at the other end. No.
Milstead with another long rebound. Here he comes. Gets it up. Oh, boy. Riley Close tried to follow it. There's 4 players at the floor, but no call.
No. Getting a little bit out of control underneath there, but there's still a lot of contact.
I guess no one's bleeding, so no foul.
Griffith is still shaking up. He's trying to walk it off.
A little bit of a delay here again. Not sure what's going on.
Well, I think they were checking on Griffith. He is almost doubled over in pain. I saw the referee looking that way. 30 seconds. They're going to hold the ball here.
Kevin Brown's squad electing to hold the ball for the final shot. Devin Whitelow with the ball up top. Raiders stay in that zone. Notice they're all pointing out where Lou Griffith is. That's Griffith on the right wing.
Long time here to kick it in offensively.
And Whitelow with the 3 at the buzzer. Whitelow with 9 of their 18 in that quarter, Matt.
It's an interesting dichotomy as far as the offense. That you got a team that can score so quickly and so fast, and you've got a very methodical Raider team that really tries to work the ball. They've worked it tremendously well. It's just that high-power offense against an offense that needs more time. So that's the concern if you're Matt Wright is we can't get down too much. We've got to keep it close. They've done that so far. They've countered the first big Washington run, and they're in this ballgame, very much so.
Yeah, both teams have punched and counterpunched here, and so far, if you're Matt Wright, you're awfully encouraged, and that one, you've kept Lou Griffith in check, and 2, you're within 5 here, and it could have very easily been 2.
Right.
So I don't think you change the course much at this point. You keep doing what you're doing and whittle it basket by basket, possession by possession, and that's where you're going to be successful.
And if you're Washington, you're a little bit concerned defensively that you've given up so many points in the paint. So adjustments are certainly being made. We'll see what the second quarter brings to us.
Absolutely. It'll be Raiders ball to start the second quarter here. Just a reminder to stick with us at halftime as we'll have the senior night performances, senior night festivities all set for you here. But in the meantime, Riley Close over the timeline, crosses over. Oh, beautiful pass. Brock Crippen just wasn't ready. Nate Slusher corrals it, though, and the Raiders will keep possession. Grant Hagedorn into the game for the first time, along with Slusher. Matt Wright trying to keep the troops fresh. Into Crippen. Weber going to put it up again, just long. Wow, that's
almost
a really
stepped out of bounds there.
That's a really aware rebound by Tyree
It
Erskman.
is.
Holy cow! They're going to get Braden Weber on the body check there. I don't think they're going to say Griffith was shooting. I think he was trying to pass that ball, so thankfully we get that. But the Panthers will trigger it in under their own basket, and we are back. Oh, Erskman with a shot fake there. Raiders have done a nice job out of this zone, Matt. They're being really aggressive right now.
They are.
But there's Max Everhart again, that sweet left-handed jump stroke. Perfect 3 of 3 on all his three-point attempts. 9 points right now is the... I don't think that score's right. I could be wrong. There we go. Oh, boy, we are...
It's definitely not right now.
Yeah, it's definitely... Holy Toledo. 21-13, there we go.
Well, you see a line change coming up for the Raiders here, but
yeah, they're going to get all 3 of those seniors back in there. And
big trip down the floor here.
And
Need a bucket here. There's no foul calls tonight.
Wow. And you hear a little frustration in the crowd, too, there. Not even on the kick. My goodness. So there you see seniors Ian Milstead, Colin Deering, and David Perkins back, along with Jake Teagarden. Long inbounds there. Griffith back over the timeline to Whitelow.
And we've talked about it before, but it becomes an issue of depth. And Matt Wright trying to get these kids, it may not seem like much, but 2 minutes of.
Yeah, if you can get anybody a blow for a minute or two, that's going to pay off later in the game for sure.
And it only was a 2-point difference in the score. Certainly didn't go on a huge run. Raiders' depth has improved throughout the year. Great pass.
Jacob Teagarden. Boy, Jake has had 3 or 4 nice post passes tonight for layups. Great job.
He has, and I think that's just that recognition as they collapse on him as an offensive threat. He's finding the open guy.
Absolutely.
Almost got a trap there in the corner. Finally a miss.
Nice job by Jake Teagarden.
Collin doesn't have the numbers.
Colin
he holds
Deering
it up.
Back it out, hit the brakes. Millstep from the
Ian
wing.
doesn't have the numbers either, but he shot it up there. 3 Raiders still at midcourt. That's a tough shot.
They are letting everybody play. Jake Teagarden literally just put his hand on Lou Griffith's shoulder to take off. Tersman follows his board. Jake Teagarden, a great block. That's going to be on Hirschman. His first. Not a lot of fouls called, folks.
No, that would be on the replay of a horse collar in the NFL. I think that last foul was finally initiated a whistle.
Goodness gracious. They are letting these two teams play.
Right in front of our camera at half court. 5 minutes left to go in the half. The Raiders need a bucket here. That's over and back. We've got tipped, though. You see the referee make that sign.
So close, resets the offense. Finds Milstead on the wing. Milstead tries to put it up the left hand, using the rim as protection.
He picked it off.
Knocks it away from Gaudet. Here he goes. And Milstead will go to the line after the foul on Gaudet there. Nice play by Ian Milstead there to change the possession quickly. Another dynamite replay there by our booth crew. We couldn't do it without them. First one is up and good by the senior.
And again, to state the obvious, when the Raiders have been inside the paint, in theory you're going to get to the charity stripe more often, which is another way you can score. Obviously with the clock stop when you're hurting or wanting more offense than you sometimes can get.
Milsted's second one up and good. You raise a good point there about the clock stoppage. That's always such a key thing to do. If you can make your free throws, so many games won at the free throw line. Everhart with his first miss of the evening. Great board by Milstead.
He's just finding the basketball tonight. Ian Milstead with a nice start to his ball game tonight. Great pass.
Teagarden now finishes with the rim. 21-19 all of a sudden. So I would say the Raiders here have taken a pair of punches. Now you just got to get over the top here. And there's Griffith on the wing. He's off. Got to go get that board, though, Colin Deering. Ball will go out of bounds to East Peoria on the long rebound. J.J. Gaudet about to check back in now.
Even the scoring not dissimilar to what we expected. A lot of distribution, 6 Raiders scoring, 3 Panthers scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. Washington going full court man press now. Lou Griffith dogging Riley Close across the timeline. Here comes Teagarden with a pick. Riley Close going to try to get around the corner there. Oh, goodness, no. That was off his leg. That was off Lou's leg.
Raiders looking to counter with a little bit of pressure here themselves.
Little 2-2-1 press there, I guess. Not quite sure what we saw there. Raiders have gone 1-3-1 defensively.
I think it is, yeah, because David dropped back once the ball came across half court.
Panthers a little confused right now about how to attack this 1-3-1 zone. And there's the turnover right there to prove it. Colin Deering back, replaces Close. I would imagine that'll put the ball in Ian Milstead's hands as the point guard. Here comes Perkins. Perkins get mugged right before the timeline.
Oh,
Still gets to Colin Deering.
Sandwich between two players.
Devin Whitelow with a fistful of Ian
Boy.
Milstedt's jersey there. Get down. There we go. Ian Milstedt with a tough finish. And he'll go to the line for the three-point play. Ties it up at 21. Raiders looking to take a lead. So here we go. Ian Milstedt at the line. Up and good. Raiders lead 22-21 on senior night. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Boy, that 2-2-1 press is causing them a little bit of discomfort.
It is. They pulled it out a couple of times to reset the offense.
And now they've gone back to that 2-3 zone. So we'll see if the Panthers can figure out, how to attack these switching defenses. Everhart with a second straight miss after hitting his first three, and here comes Milstedt in transition.
And we talked about the fact that you're not going to continue to make everything that you throw up.
And Colin Deering with a big three from the left side. And Kevin Brown wants a timeout. I believe that's a 12-0 run, Matt. We are in the midst of a 12-0 surge here. I believe it was 21-13 at one point after an opening three-pointer by Everhart.
Which is especially sweet for a team that's been on the other end of so many of those where you just have a hard time scoring.
And you saw it right there. You saw Brock Crippen come off the court with his arms raised, trying to get the crowd going. That's such a big momentum changer. And as we've discussed, especially for our crowd, it's so important to get them going tonight because the Washington student section isn't here.
Right.
They're all in Champaign at the state wrestling final. So.
And how many times through the last couple of years have we thought, oh, man, an 8-point run, we're kind of in trouble here no matter what point in the game. Didn't even phase them. They just continued to chip away.
They have taken everything that the Panthers can throw at them, whether it was that killer offensive execution at the start or just grinding them down with cuts through the zone, things like that. It was just, man, they have taken every last thing Washington can throw at them. Raiders go right back to the 1-3-1. Trying to trap out of it now. Jacob Teagarden coming all the way out of the post to trap Griffith.
Riley Close almost had to tip that away, too.
Nice dive by Brock Crippen. That ball's going to stay at Washington's end, though. Freshman Peyton Haven's going to check in. He'll replace number 32, it looks like.
Well, we talked about the efficiency of Washington's offense. How about the tenacity of the Raider defense? There's a hand in on every pass, every shot. Everything contested.
Yeah, there is not much going unchecked right now. Griffin, ball on the wing, dribbles to the corner. Dribbles to the key. Going to get a foul here. Whitelow tried to finish at the rim, couldn't get there.
Really the only thing uncontested are some of these three-point shots. And at the end of the day, that's not the worst defensive lapse you can possibly throw at somebody.
Whitelow's first free throw up and good. That gives him an even 10 now for the junior point guard. Whitelow at one point considered a very high-level prospect. Unfortunately, he stopped growing. And still a good college prospect, but not quite as good as many thought he would become. Deering with a nice look into Crippen in the post. And Brock not shying away from any contact there.
Boy, Colin got snapped too.
From Colin Deering. Deering with his 7th point in the quarter. Raiders out to a 27-22 advantage now. They're going to get Jacob Teagarden there with the block. That's about the 50th most contact we've seen tonight. a little bump with the hands raised. I believe that's Teagarden's second foul, so he'll go to the bench.
Yeah, probably for the rest of the half. He'll be out there.
Yeah. Nice job by Milstedt out there out top.
Nice shot.
I did not even see who got that down. Max Everhart with another bucket. That gives him 11 for the game as well. So Whitelow and Everhart with 22 of the 24 for Washington. Raiders being patient, not Braden Weber there with a turnover. Boy, Whitelow with a nice follow there. Milstead across the timeline with Havens hounding him.
Now we saw Washington pull it out with 30 seconds left to go. We'll see what Coach Wright does here at the other end.
I think you do the same. You got to sit on this and take that momentum to the locker room. And there's Milstead. He'll get the ball in his hands and he'll wait. Havens going to try to force him into the 5-second call. The count is live. Hands off to Close. Count restarts. I think you'll see Milstead and Milstead just lost it there trying to do too much through traffic. Brock Griffin. So Devin Whitelow there with a steal and layup at the buzzer. That's going to send the Panthers to the locker room with a 28-27 lead. Stick around, folks, as we broadcast the senior night ceremonies. We'll be back with second half action after senior night.
Vision loss is not something that you feel until it happens.
Most people lose their vision from diseases like macular degeneration and glaucoma, not at birth.
With macular degeneration, you lose your central vision.
You have a blind spot right in the center of your face, so I can't actually see your face.
So even that little circle in which I could see became a big blur.
I was 65 when I first was diagnosed with glaucoma.
There were no symptoms. I had no headaches.
3 million Americans have glaucoma, and half don't even know it.
11 million people in the United States have macular degeneration.
You lose mobility, independence, changes your entire life.
So many eye disorders can be treated if caught early.
My husband tells me that I have beautiful brown eyes, and I don't want to lose that.
Make a plan today to get your eyes checked.
Visit brightfocus.org to learn more.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to East Peoria Community High School and our Winter Athletes Senior Night. We have some very special young men and women we'd like to take a moment to recognize. First, we will announce our senior Raiderettes. First up, we have Tessa Colburn. Tessa is being escorted by her mother, Katie Teakin, and stepfather, Rick Teakin. Tessa has been a Raiderette all 4 years of high school, where she has served as captain for the last 2 years. Also, during her time at East Peoria, she has been the student council president for 3 years, student council executive board for 1, a member of the Link Crew, and a Ving ambassador. She plans on attending Illinois State University to major in special education and minor in art therapy. Please welcome Tessa Colburn. Next up, we have Tatum Coyle. Tatum is being escorted by her parents, Nicole Coyle and Charles Shoemaker. This is Tatum's first year as a Raiderette, where she has served as a Raiderette manager. Also during her time at East Peoria, she has ran cross country for 1 year, track for 3 years, book club for 1 year, and a member of the CNA club for 1 year. She plans on attending ISU to major in biology and later transfer to the University of Illinois to obtain her MD. Please welcome Tatum Coyle. Third, we have Timber McPhee. Timber is being escorted by her parents, Carol and Garth McPhee. She has been a Raiderette all 4 years. Also while here at East Peoria, Timber has played soccer all 4 years, as well as being a member of Link Crew for 2, all while being on the honor roll all 4 years. She plans to attend ICC in the fall and later transfer to Hawaii Pacific University to study business. Please welcome Timber McPhee. Our fourth senior is Taylor Myers. Taylor is being escorted by her parents, Colleen and Jeremy Myers. This is Taylor's 3rd year as a Raiderette. Also during her time at East Peoria, she has played 1 year of volleyball and been a member of the Link Crew and Fashions Club for 1 year. Taylor plans on attending ICC and later transferring to ISU to study psychology. Please welcome Taylor Myers. Our last senior Raiderette is Morgan Watson. Morgan is being escorted by her mother, Nicole McLeod, and stepfather, Graylin McLeod. She has been a Raiderette all 4 years of high school, where she also serves as captain. Also during her time at East Peoria, Morgan has been a member of the Link Crew for 2 years and student council for 3. She serves as the senior class president. Morgan plans on attending ISU in the fall to major in dietetics and nutritional health. Please welcome Morgan Watson. Now we would like to welcome our senior cheerleaders. First up, we have Mason Dirtle. Mason is being escorted by his parents, Robin and James Dirtle. This is his first year as a cheerleader. Also at East Peoria, Mason has played baseball all 4 years, basketball, golf, and football. He is also a member of the EPCHS Leadership School, Link Crew for 2 years, Student Council Executive Board, 2 years of the school musical, Key Club, Bass Fishing Club, Corral, HOI United Way campaign, and being ambassador. He plans on attending Illinois College after graduation to play baseball and pursue a degree in pre-med and theater. Please welcome Mason Dirtle. Second up is Nicole Moore. Nicole is being escorted by her mother, Patty Moore, and brother, Bo Bailey. This is her 4th year as cheerleader and 2nd year on varsity and serves as a team's captain. She has also participated 1 year in Link Crew and 1 year of co-op, as well as being on the student honor roll all 4 years. Nicole will attend Bradley University in the fall to pursue a degree in nursing. Please welcome Nicole Moore. Third, we have Alexa Scotty. Alexa is being escorted by her mother and stepfather, Keely and John Humphrey. This is her 1st year as a cheerleader. Also during her time at East Peoria, she has participated in 2 years of volleyball, 2 years of soccer, and 1 year of track. Alexa plans on attending ICC in the fall to pursue a degree as an RN. Please welcome Alexa Scotty. Our final cheerleader is Lauren Tranchitella. Lauren is being escorted by her parents, Jenny and Brian Tranchitella and Kim Farmer. This is Lauren's 4th year as a cheerleader and 2nd on varsity, and she serves as a team's captain. Also while at East Peoria, she has played 4 years of volleyball, 2 years of softball, been a member of the Link Crew for 2 years, and Spanish Club for 2 years. Lauren has also been a member of the co-op and student council, all while being on the honor roll all 4 years here at East Peoria. Lauren plans on attending ICC and later transfer to a 4-year university to pursue a degree in marketing. Please welcome Lauren Tranchitella. Now we would like to welcome our senior basketball players. First up, we have Colin Deering. Colin is being escorted by his parents, Erica and Robin Deering. This is Colin's 4th year playing basketball and 3rd year on the varsity level. While here at East Peoria, Colin has played 4 years of baseball, where he has chosen as McDonald's All-Star, as well as being a member of the varsity golf. Colin is a 4-year triathlete, all while being academic honorable mention all 4 years. In the fall, he will attend ICC to play baseball and study criminal justice. Please welcome Colin Deering. Next, we have Ian Milstead. Ian is being escorted by his parents, Amy and Mark Milstead. This is Ian's 4th year playing basketball and 3rd year on the varsity level. In his East Peoria basketball career, he has been chosen to 3 first-team all-tournament teams. Also while at East Peoria, Ian has played 3 years of golf, 1 year of baseball, and 1 year of football, where he was chosen as first-team all-conference. Ian has been an honor roll student for all 4 years. Ian's future plans are to attend a college or university of his choosing to study business. Please welcome Ian Milstead. Our final senior is David Perkins. David is being escorted by his parents, Lauren and Tony Perkins. This is David's 4th year playing basketball, all of which he has played at the varsity level. He is a 2-time 3A state Final Four 3-point shootout qualifier. Also during his time at East Peoria, David has played 1 year of varsity baseball in addition to 4 years of golf, where he is a member of the 2013 All-State team and was voted first team all-conference during the 2014-15 season. He is on the student honor roll and was the DIR award winner for 2016. David plans on attending Illinois State University to play golf on a scholarship and study psychology. Please welcome David Perkins. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2015-2016 East Peoria seniors.
If you keep tanning, the effects of harmful rays will show up on your skin. Time may not be on your side. Learn how to protect your skin at spotskincancer.org.
Welcome back to Allison Gymnasium here, folks. We've got a nice little game on our hands. At halftime, the Washington Panthers lead your East Peoria Raiders 28-27. Matt, as we discussed, that was a game of runs, and boy, East Peoria just took everything that the Panthers had there, and until a last-second layup by Devin Whitelow actually led this game.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate turnover in the last 10 seconds of the half, but if you're East Peoria, you encountered a 7-point run to start the game, and then they built back up an 8-point lead. The Raiders came right back. They've just been very consistent offensively. They're getting high percentage shots. Those have fallen off a little bit for the Panthers. So the Raiders really in a good spot here. A 1-point ball game, halftime, throwing some offense at the Panthers, and you got to like what you see if you're Matt Wright so far.
And I think even more impressively is the number of different defensive they've thrown at Washington, and that's what's kept this game so close. You know, Washington's coming down the other end of the court not knowing if they're going to see man, a 2-3 zone, a 1-3-1. Just so many different defenses that the Panthers
and that has disjointed a typically very efficient. We already talked about the efficiency of this offense, and the Raider defense really making the difference.
100% right. So Raiders will open in that 1-3-1 again with Ian Milstead at the top this time. Eberhardt looking to penetrate. Instead finds Whitelow on the wing, and he hits it. Devin Whitelow staying hot. David Perkins across timeline. Eberhardt dogging him. Raiders will look to get this offense back on track. Colin Deering with a 3-ball. Top of the key, rolls off. Here comes Whitelow again. The junior had 17 points so far.
Nice rebound by
nice board out to Milstead. Milstead needs to slow it up just a bit. No sense going 1-on-5.
No.
We're going to get the freshman J.J. Gaudet on the foul there as Teagarden posted strong, and Gaudet went over his back to get it. That'll be Gaudet's second.
That's an unusually quick whistle. We didn't hardly see a whistle the whole first half.
It's like the Black Knight in Monty Python Holy Grail. Merely a flesh wound.
Still fight. Another one.
I feel like that might get cut for copyright reasons. Another foul on the Panthers.
Through Teagarden's hands. It's a tough turnover. Raiders come away empty on their first 2 possessions.
Lou Griffith short the first time, short the second. Gets his own board. This time Eberhardt with the board.
Typically a travel when you hit the ground.
Griffith kicks it over to Whitelow, who's had the hot hand. And instead, Eberhardt relocates in Kansas' 4th 3 of the game. The official stopping the game there to check on Brock Crippen. I don't know if Brock took a finger in the eye or what there, but Griffith immediately up on Deering.
It's a dangerous place.
Deering
in that corner,
just needs to go now, yeah,
himself.
after he gets by Griffith.
Ooh. One dribble too many.
Oh, goodness. His baseball swing's prettier than his handles, folks. We promise. Jacob Teagarden off. Needs to follow a shot. Brock Crippen, the nice board.
He's got a lot of contact on him again.
Raiders standing around a little bit too much right now. Kevin Brown, though, going to waste the timeout to talk about it and keep possession. Washington on a 6-0 run here to open the 3rd period, Matt. And that timeout probably plays more into East Peoria's hands than anything.
It does. We talked about they're a quick hitting team offensively, and that's what the Raiders have been able to withstand so far, but a little bit more disjointed. We talked about Washington being disjointed. The Raiders putting up some quick shots here and looking a little bit off offensively. So a good opportunity here. Settle them in, settle them back down.
Absolutely.
Do what we've been doing.
We saw this in the first quarter,
Right.
too. You know, the Raiders came out of a Washington timeout and answered. So this is another chance for Matt Wright to settle the troops and get what he wants in play and go from there.
Boy, Max Everhart, we see a lot of these kids come through the gym, but there's not hardly a prettier touch in the mid-Illini than an open Max Everhart shot.
That has been, he's been awfully impressive. And of course, you know, being a left-hander, it always looks
Right.
prettier. So Brett Gonningham out to chat with Dan McGann, the lead official. Not sure what Brett was checking there, maybe telling him to watch the no blood, no foul rule.
It's not the same, but when some of these youth leagues that play around, they don't call anything. You got to tell your kid, protect yourself. You don't hurt somebody, but you got to protect yourself.
David Perkins hits the floor there with Everhart, tries to knock it away. Griffith emerges out of the scramble for the ball. Raiders settle right back into that 2-3 zone.
Well, that's a good open look.
That's a nice pass from Everhart down to Gaudet. And that's what happens. He's hit 4 threes, you close out hard, and instead it leaves him wide open for the pass.
And for 6-6, that's the first really good look he's had tonight. So the Raiders have another timeout here. Matt Wright, you see talking to the officials, some hand checks. It's been happening a lot all night long. A lot of contact on everything.
I was going to say Lou Griffith had all but saddled David Perkins up there and rode him down the sideline. It was pretty crazy how much Lou was maintaining the contact there with him.
This is obviously a big moment in the ball game. You've got now a 9-point lead. It's the biggest lead of the ball game for either team. Raiders had a nice little 5-point lead in the second quarter. But you need something here. You need a stop. You need some offense. You need some momentum back. Get the crowd back into the ball game.
And again, it's, we talked about this the first time they took that timeout. It's basket by basket, possession by possession on both ends. You just got to get stops and try to counter that with baskets. Deering will inbound here, finds Crippen in the backcourt. Boy, Lou Griffith just dogging Riley Close now. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, even these picks are just collisions.
Yeah. Milstead over to Crippen on the wing. Deering picks for Teagarden down low, gets a traffic jam there. Teagarden bumped there by Gaudet. Griffith ahead. I believe that was Everhart. Everhart finishes again. And Matt Wright wants another timeout to try and stem this tide. I think we've run out of timeout topics.
We don't often see 3 within about 30 seconds of game time, but this is obviously he recognizes the critical juncture of the ball game and that reality. I mean, we just came off, we talked about it at halftime, a sophomore game where it's a 1-point game with about 4 minutes left to play, timeout on the court, and the Raiders didn't score again. And that's the fear that you have is that elongated lull of no offense and just getting kind of buried score-wise in the ball game.
So here we stand, 4:57 to go here in the third period. Raiders trail by 11, 38-27. That's a 10-0 run by Washington to start this quarter.
Any luck on the snow globes? We could talk about that. We didn't really talk about that yet.
You know what? The guy was asking too much money. I thought for that price I should get at least 2 more globes, and he just wasn't having it. So
we talked a little bit about the history. It's a fascinating history
absolutely.
of snow globe collecting.
That's why I collect them. I mean, I'm all about the history. One day I'll turn my classroom into a snow globe, but
pass them along.
Right now it's just one of those things that I'll have to live without. And, that money was better put towards rent this month, I guess. So.
Tough decision sometimes. But.
Sometimes you just got to wing it. So here we go. Crippen inbound underneath the Washington basket. Gets it into Milstead, who finds Close quickly. Griffith has actually backed off now, although he'll. Boy, look at Lou Griffith just working Riley Close. He's clearly decided if he's not going to have an impact on this game offensively, he's going to do it defensively. I think that's Whitelow they're going to get for the foul there.
Might be Whitelow, is that what he said?
Yeah.
He's not real thrilled with the call.
That's Whitelow's 4th foul. So we'll see how that impacts him. He's been the primary ball handler and scorer. That might mean Lou Griffith shoulders more of that scoring load now.
That's the advantage that clearly Washington has when you have scorers, guys that can put points up.
Yeah.
3-4 guys that can score 10, 15 points.
Here comes Havens over the timeline, the freshman. Everhart circling into the corner there. Not going to get the jumper up that time. And Everhart rolls another one home there, so he's got 18 now.
Well, the Washington defense has been really the key to the second half. The Raiders just have not been able to foul away from the basketball.
We're going to get an off-the-ball foul on the Washington defense there.
So, and I mean, that's part of it, is they've been 4 foul calls here, 4 or 5 on the defensive end. But they are really trying to claw defensively.
David Perkins and Braden Weber back. Boy, almost an over and back there. Nice job by Braden Weber to check his feed.
That's more like it. That's the best offensive set they've run this half.
Yes, it is, and still a tough shot there by Weber. I mean, that was about the best shot you could hope for there. Raiders really disjointed on defense now.
Just no calls on all the contact.
Wow, goodness. This is just a crazy scramble right now. Lou Griffith going to reset it. Gives it to Havens, and he'll look to score off the ball here.
That's where with this kind of physicality, you get a little concerned with the Raider depth as well as the game
and
progresses.
There's Everhart again. That's 10 for Everhart this quarter, 21 for the game. He and Whitelow having a night. They've got 39 of the 43. And there's Lou Griffith hitting the floor, and Everhart runs it down.
I think East Peoria really out-scrapped the Panthers in the first half. I don't know that Washington's out-scrapping them, but they have certainly picked up their intensity level.
Yeah.
They certainly are beating the Raiders with the loose balls at this point.
And part of that, again, comes back to depth, and you know, they've been able to rotate 8-9 guys through this thing, and by contrast, you know, we're running with the same 7 guys that we've had all year. So,
and then there's that reality. I mean, I don't care who you play or where you are. 6 minutes without a bucket, and you're in heap big trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Running a lot of clock here. Very intentional set here.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Kevin Brown try to drain some of this clock off.
Again,
another offensive board for Griffith. They're going to get, I believe that's Brock Crippen on the foul. Brock's second foul. So the Panthers will trigger it in. Everhart to do the inbounding. Out to Havens. And there's Everhart again.
Just isn't missing.
And he cans it. Third 3 of the period. 13 points in the quarter. 24 for the game, I think.
Yeah, everything is contested. This is really, I mean, it's a page out of the Raider defensive book from the first half. Everything contested, hand on everything.
I believe at one point, Matt, it was 27-22, right? So this is a 24-0 run that we are in the midst of here.
You're right. That was the Raiders' lead of the game.
Here you see the Panthers being patient again. I would not be surprised to see Kevin Brown just opt for the last shot here.
Well, and he's more than aware that every possession is certainly relevant now for a team that struggles to score. You're down to basically 8-9 minutes of the basketball game where every possession is relevant. This takes away a Raider possession, running this clock. It's going to be a jump ball at some point. No! A turnover.
So Gaudet forced into a turnover there. Perkins will inbound it for the Raiders. Close will bring it up. Being dogged once again by Lou Griffith.
Boy, just slapping at that. Contact. They're certainly letting it play.
You can just feel the intensity turned up from Washington.
Right.
I mean, they're just so amped up right now. Ian Milstead with the board. He'll come down to the other end. Going to pull up for three from the key. That is off, and here comes Lou Griffith with 10 seconds. He's going to be fouled by Milstead. I believe that's Ian's first. We'll find out here.
Try to get Teagarden in here defensively for the last set.
Yeah, they'll put Jacob Teagarden here in the middle, try to guard the rim.
Right in front of their own bench. Panthers with 6 seconds to play with here.
And there's Everhart. He'll drive baseline. Finds Gaudet.
Contested.
Gaudet up.
That's a very late
wow,
whistle.
That was a late whistle. I think they're going to get Nate Slusher there. Nate's second, team's fourth of the second half. And that'll send the freshman, J.J. Gaudet, to the line. First one rattles off for Gaudet.
Missed them both.
Misses both. Scramble for the board there. Probably could have been an over-the-back call. Brock Crippen ended up sprawled out on the floor. So after 3 quarters, Panthers have blown this one wide open, 46-27. Washington on a 24-0 run here, going back to the end of the first half. And this has been the one that the Raiders haven't been able to counter, Matt.
No, we've seen a couple of points this season where the Raiders had a hard time scoring, but not a whole quarter. 8 minutes of basketball and nothing through the hoop for the Raiders. And they credit Washington. They came out of the gates with an amped-up defense and certainly scrappiness on both ends of the floor. But the Raiders really looked a little bit disheveled, if you will, or a little disjointed offensively, and that just has continued. Just not the high percentage looks, which has meant they're not able to get to the free throw line. They're not able to get points in the basket, and it's a tough position to be in now with only 8 minutes of basketball left.
Well, and this is, I'm sure, taking on a little bit of importance for Washington in this information age. You know, they are currently tied with Metamora for the conference lead as 11-1, both of them. And Pekin currently leads Metamora 36-31. So I'm sure that information reached Kevin Brown and his troops at halftime that Pekin was, I think they saw they were 15 for 20 in the first half, Pekin was, to build that lead. So,
which explains the ability. I mean, that's just the craziness of the game, though, too, that anybody, any night, you get hot offensively.
So Raiders ball to open the fourth and final period here. And now we're going to call it tight. We're just going to rack up 30 fouls in this last quarter.
Yeah, everything that could go Washington's way is going Washington's way. You get Whitelow in foul trouble. You think maybe the Raiders can make a run, and Everhart steps up. Or continues to step up. He's been dominant tonight.
Yeah. David Perkins with a drive here.
Blocked, and a late foul there, too.
That foul's going to be on Everhart, his first. Panthers do have some foul trouble. Devin Whitelow went to the bench with 4 after scoring 18 points. Perkins misses the first.
Boy, the Raiders just can't catch a break.
Does get down the second to end the run by Washington. Peyton Havens to the bench. Devin Whitelow back in. He of the 4 fouls and 18 points. Lou Griffith to the elbow. Kicks it to Everhart on the wing. Back to Whitelow. And the Panthers will once again be patient, working for shots here. Looking to drain time off this clock. Clock about to roll under 7 minutes. These last 3 fouls have been the least contacted plays of the night.
First foul on Collin. Boy, too open. He just won't miss.
And there's Everhart again.
My gracious.
7 threes tonight for the 6'3 senior. Milstead takes it into the lane. 2 teammates fighting over a board there.
That was almost a turnover as 2 Panthers collapsed on that ball, fighting over it.
Wow, that ball went right through Milstead's arms. Goodness. Crippen back in for Teagarden.
What are your thoughts on postseason? We've got a couple of solid Mid-Illini representatives that will head to postseason with some, we talked about top of the conference, Metamora, and this team right here.
You know, I did not realize that Metamore's record was 22-1 coming into this weekend. That's pretty impressive, no matter who you are. Now, a lot of people will point to their strength of schedule and say, "Wow, goodness gracious, this is."
Third shot.
This game has just gotten out of control. All kinds of players hitting the floor here, and somebody's going to get hurt. And it's too late to take control of the game, too. You know, I say, nice job by Ian Milstead there. I understand that officiating is a thankless profession and whatnot, and that we're in need of officials because nobody wants to take the abuse. But by the same token, the officials need to be better. I mean, this is a direct response to what happened in the first 3 quarters. And the sad part is this is a pretty good crew. 2 of these guys work college level games. But we're also at the point in the year where these guys are taking, you know, I think I was talking to, gosh, who was I talking to? There was one official this week who had 7 games in 5 nights because he was doubling up Friday, Saturday. Crazy. Milstead rattles the first home.
It's one of the challenges with officiating in general. It's you don't get paid. There's not an opportunity for a lot of training. Certainly it's a thankless job.
You're right. It is 100% thankless. But you can save yourself a lot of time and effort if you do the job right.
Right.
Clock about to roll under 5 minutes here. Panthers content to just play this one out.
Boy, you just can't leave him open. He finally missed a shot.
I believe that makes him 7 of 11 on threes.
That's a travel or
yeah, they're going to get Ian
foul.
Milstead there for the charge, and rightfully so. Ian just trying to do a little bit too much there. Left his feet and got into the defender. Ian second.
Ian frustrated, but I think that's frustration of the evening in general. Panthers very methodical here offensively, running some clock, and time just running out for the Raiders.
We'll be at the halfway point of the fourth quarter here shortly. Griffith with a nice shot fake, drives baseline, nothing there. Finds Everhart out at the top of the key, and the Panthers will reset. And they're going to get Ian Milstead on the push there from behind as Devin Whitelow came to the jump stop.
Now the great irony after as much contact as we've seen is we're going to watch free throws for the last 4 minutes and 19 seconds.
Yeah. Whitelow puts it in. That's, I believe, his 19th point here. Let me do some math. Pardon me, that's his 18th point. There we go. There's number 19. Boy, Riley Close just... And the sad part is I don't think Lou Griffith is fouling him. Lou Griffith is just that good at defense. Nice take by Brock Crippen there to get that one down. Just patient and waited to get the guy on his hip.
Just the second field goal in this half for the Raiders.
Well, every time you think the Panthers are going to attack, that ball just goes right back to the top of the key. Panthers basically running a four-corner stall right now.
Well, and at some point, he's going to clear the bench. He's going to keep the pedal to the gas as much as he can as far as tenacity.
By Lou Griffith, just his 5th point of the night. If you're looking for positives, there's one right there. Lou Griffith, 5 points.
If you had said at the beginning of the night we're going to hold Lou Griffith to 5 points with 3 minutes to go in the contest,
I'd say we're in pretty good shape if that would have been the case.
Nice little
Colin
floater.
Deering puts up the runner. Whitelow with the board over.
White.
Riley Close with a run out here. He's going to try to finish the left hand.
Oh, just
off. Good day with the board. And Lou Griffith will slow it up here.
Just the way the second half's gone for the Raiders.
Ian Milstead at the table looking to come back in along with 2 Panther reserves. Clock under 2:30 now.
Almost a knuckleball.
Hurstman there off. Perkins runs down the long board. Lou Griffith will pick up Riley Close. 3/4 court. Goodness gracious. That's going to be a foul on number 20, Brock Beadscheid. And that'll send Brock Crippen to the line. Peyton Havens and J.J. Gaudet back in. Lou Griffith and Beadscheid will sit down.
You know, Brock's really added to his game this year. He's been exciting to watch.
Yeah, he's
certainly
been
offensively.
Yes, he's become much more versatile. Actually, Colin Deering, and Mason Dirtle took advantage of the open weekend last weekend and went up to the high school baseball hitting challenge up in Chicago, and actually finished second overall among some of the state's best teams: Lamont, St. Rita, Brother Rice, some of the top teams in the big school division traditionally, and basically a hitting contest, and those three managed to finish second. So even though things not ending up the way they went on the hardwood here, it looks like it could be a nice spring ahead for those three.
Well, and that's the reality. Like a lot of these kids out here, they're multi-sport athletes.
Absolutely.
They're going to continue playing a sport at the next level, several of them.
Well, speaking personally, I can tell you that we're very much looking forward to having Colin Deering swing at ICC next year. So, very much looking forward to getting Colin in Cougar Blue. David Perkins will take a well-deserved exit here. He'll, of course, go on to play golf at Illinois State University, so look for big things ahead from that young man. Jacob Thaller will replace Colin Deering, and, of course, Colin, like we said, headed to ICC. And Brandon Pate will now check in for Ian Milstead. Ian's still looking for a college home, but will no doubt find a home at a quality small program. Great efforts by Ian Milstead over the last 2 years, by all those young men, really, but Ian Milstead really shouldering the scoring load these last 2 years. Havens' second free throw up and good. Kevin Brown starting to clear the bench a little bit here as well. Number 30, Cole Morton into the game for Brock Crippen.
One of the freshmen we talked about at the start of the game here.
Yeah, and that's the scary part, is this Washington team is that good, and they have two freshmen in the rotation. It's just a continuation of that tradition. G'day, also an outstanding football player, too. Clock under 1 minute now.
Nice pass.
That's a great pass there by Hirschman to number 14, Zach Tubal.
Certainly a tale of two halves, Ben. Just a disappointing end to this ball game, but ferocious.
Just a great first half
for this season for this Raider team. Not necessarily the wins that you want, but man, they fight hard.
Yes, this has not been a group that's given up. They have not gone quietly in any game. You know, it's just a matter of finding some depth and you know, instilling in them the same competitive level that the others have. Clock under 10 seconds now. Washington will win this game to improve to 12-1 in the Middle Illini Conference with one game remaining. Still no word on the Pekin game, of course. Folks, we thank you for joining us this year on Eastside Community Media. This is our last broadcast for the year. We look forward to many more next year, but the final score tonight from Allison Gymnasium, 56-35. Mr. Robinson, it's been a pleasure, and of course we thank those in the booth.
Yeah. We have just a great crew. We just get to come in here and do the fun part, talk about basketball and watch some exciting action here on a beautiful new court this year. And it goes by quickly. It's hard to believe it's senior night. I'm sure it went by quick for those kids too, but not the ending that you want, but they keep fighting, and it's not for lack of effort. But the Panthers just really with a solid program, a lot of depth as we've talked about, and they are successful tonight over the Raiders.
Once again, folks, we thank you for joining us. We will see you next year at Eastside. Good night.